Well, hi there. So in this video, we're going to actually practice with monopolistic competition. We're going to do a little bit of graph analysis, and then we're going to draw a graph. So let's get started. Okay, so the first part says use the graph at right for numbers 1 through 9. So we're just going to use this graph and identify some areas. Profit maximizing quantity and price. We're going to look for marginal revenue equals marginal cost. That happens at point E, and that's Q1, and then go up to the demand curve to find the price. So that's P2. So Q1, P2, Q1, Daniel. What's the profit maximizing? Oh, duh. P2, Q1. Be helpful if I could read my own stuff, right? Then it says, are they earning a profit, loss, or normal profit? So ATC at Q1 is down here at point F. So I would say that they're earning a profit because the ATC level is P5 and the price is P2. So I would say profit. And the area, and I can even put here, because price is greater than ATC, I'll just put that. What's the area of total revenue? Well, it's price times quantity. So P2 over to A, down to Q1 and 0. So I am just going to write P2 times Q1, but you can also just write P2A, Q1, 0. What's the area of total cost? Well, it's the P5 times Q1, or P5F Q1. So I'm going to say P5 times Q1. What's the deadweight loss? This one I am going to use the 3 letters. We've got A is the top here, E, and then C. And again, that's that little kind of deadweight loss. So A, C, E, ACE. What quantity is allocative efficient? So it's asking like, where would we be if we were socially optimal? And remember, the marginal cost curve is like the firm's supply curve here, at least the area above the AVC. And so the supply and the demand intercept here, because demand kind of tells us the price that we're going to charge, or price and marginal cost intercept here at point C. So the allocative efficiency quantity would be the point that quantity corresponds Q3. Q3. What quantity is productive efficient? Well, if we remember from way back when, that's the minimum of ATC. That's occurring here at that minimum ATC, so that's Q2. And last but not least, will firms enter or exit this market? Well, we already established that they're earning profits, so we would say new firms will enter. Okay, let's take a look at this other question about a restaurant industry. It says, assume the industry is monopolistically competitive. Assume that restaurants are earning short-run economic profits. So that's going to mean our price is above our ATC. And we want a firm in the industry, and so we'll label some things on there. Now, it's going to look almost exactly the same as picture above it. So hopefully this one's not going to be too bad for us. We'll do some price and some quantity, downward sloping demand curve, marginal revenue. So again, it looks just like an artificial monopoly. Now, from this point, we can establish where they're going to produce because they produce where MR equals MC. It doesn't tell us any kind of labeling here to use, so I'm just going to say QF, and the price will be up here, and we'll just say PF. That's the price the firm charges. It does say that they're earning a economic profit, so I want to draw a ATC that's below that price. ATC below that price, and it says correctly labeled graph. I did that. Show the profit minus output price, economic profit. So economic profit is going to come down, go over. So it comes down to that ATC from the price we're charging, and then I'm going to shade that area in. Okay, now that part's done. It says at the profit maximizing price identified in A, would the firm's demand curve be price inelastic? Inelastic. So the way I know inelastic versus elastic is elastic would be if the marginal revenue is greater than 0, and inelastic would be the marginal revenue is less than 0. And so I have to know that to answer this question. Now, all firms that are monopolistically competitive will always produce where MR is a positive value. You would never really want to produce where MR is a negative value because you actually have less total revenue, and it's certainly not where you profit maximize. And so we actually can just blanket statement say, no, because it's elastic, because MR is greater than 0, right? Because the MR curve is up here as opposed to past this point right here and down here. Beyond here, this quantity, everything past here, that's all inelastic. And so that would be inelastic is that way. And again, we are not producing in that range. Now it says, see what will happen to the demand curve for the typical restaurant in the long run. Explain. Well, we know that, we've got profit. And so we actually would say that the demand will decrease because new firms enter. So demand for the firm's product decreases. It's really just saying that, like, if you have new companies that are opening up, that market share that this company sees is going to get smaller. And so again, we kind of talked about this in the lecture, but that demand curve and the marginal revenue would shift inward, and that process would continue until the ATC is a tangent line to that demand curve. At right, using a new correctly labeled graph, show the profit maximizing output and price for the typical firm in the long run. So this is just saying show the after that process happens. And so what we do is we repeat our demand and marginal revenue, and we can go ahead and put our marginal cost curve on here. QF. Got to make those noises, right? Beep, beep, and that stuff. But now the tangent line forming here is where ATC is going to come in and touch. So this is going to be just like our picture of an artificial monopoly or monopolistically competitive in long run equilibrium. Here we have price equal to ATC, right? Price equals ATC. So that's what we see. Does the typical firm produce an output level that minimizes its ATC in the long run? No. You can even see it doesn't, right? That's where it is as opposed to there. And so we would say we're not productive efficient. And so we called that, I believe in the video, we called that excess capacity. And then last, there's my bell. In the long run equilibrium, does the firm produce allocatively efficient level of output? No, because not at the quantity where, and there's a couple ways we could say this, where price equals the marginal cost, or where demand equals the supply curve. Because price is really coming from the demand curve, marginal cost is the supply curve. This is our allocative efficient point. We are not there either, and so neither productive nor allocative efficient. We do have that dead weight loss that's right in there. Okay, so hopefully this helped you thinking about monopolistic competition. I'll see you next time.